Hi, I'm Josh Whiteman with Garage Gurus, and today we're going to go over the ATS Chemical 3C Intelligent Induction Cleaner. We're going to be using the actual Vortex applicator here and show you what this process looks like from start to finish. It's extremely efficient at removing the carbon, and it's a great option if you're not really interested in doing the more labor-intensive walnut blasting. This does a really good job of cleaning the carbon without having to do very much disassembly at all. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at what comes with this ATS Vortex kit. Obviously, we get our big applicator with the reservoir and the valve. It also comes with a vacuum gauge so that we can make sure that we are attaching this to a good vacuum source. It comes with a bunch of different attachments depending on the size of the vacuum fittings. Some different threaded options there, so pretty cool. And then it also comes with the safety glasses, as you can see. So the first thing we're going to do is get the vehicle started. I have the line off that goes to the purge valve, from the purge valve to the throttle body, so it's a nice centralized vacuum location. But just for good measure, we're going to make sure that it has at least 10 inches of mercury or 10 inches of vacuum. That's kind of the minimum recommendation for this particular kit here to ensure that we get good flow into the intake manifold and we're able to perform this job as good as possible. So let me jump over, let me start the car real quick, and then I'll check it with the vacuum gauge. As you can see, the vehicle is sitting here at idle. Again, when you're doing this, it's always important to keep in mind whether or not the vehicle already has any sort of misfires or symptoms or any sort of DTCs set. This one has no codes, no misfires. It's purely a maintenance-based item that we're performing. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and check the vacuum supply coming off of that vacuum port on the throttle body. All right, we got our vacuum gauge hooked up. As you can see, we're sitting right around 18 inches of vacuum, 18 inches of mercury. Again, pretty interchangeable there, but just keep in mind, that's kind of the good, happy spot. You know, the typical rule of thumb is about 18 to 21 inches of vacuum at idle if it's a healthy running engine. Now that changes with sea level. Typically for every 1,000 feet in elevation you gain, you're gonna lose about 1 inch of mercury. So just keep that in mind for whatever your elevation is. Also, just keep in mind that not every single engine is going to have that 18 to 21 inches of mercury anymore. They're starting to kind of change engine strategy and valve timing strategy to make them more efficient, to create less pumping loss at idle. So while yes, that 18 to 21 inches has been a rule of thumb for a very long time, there are some engines in which that differs slightly, and you might see it a little bit less. That's going to be okay as long as you don't have any drivability concerns and there's no DTCs set. So now that we've established we have good engine vacuum, I'm going to turn the vehicle off and switch over to my applicator now. All right, we're going to remove our vacuum gauge now, get this out of the way, and we're now going to attach our applicator to our same vacuum line that we just were connected to with our vacuum gauge. Squeezes in there, simple enough. Now, one way in which this kit here differs from a typical induction service kind of comes down to the way in which we're going to store our chemical at least for a couple hours before we actually use it. We actually want to refrigerate this chemical, so it's been sitting in the fridge for the past day or so, getting ready for us to film this video, but you want the liquid to be cold. Ideally, you also want the engine to be cool, definitely not hot, so try to run it for a limited amount of time before you actually perform this service. The reason being is because we want this liquid to remain a liquid when it enters the intake manifold and actually makes contact with all the carbon. If it vaporizes because the engine is too hot or it's hot outside or the chemical is too hot, it's not going to perform its job as it's intended. So again, it's slightly different from a typical induction kit, but in order to get this to work as good as possible, that's what we're going to want to do. It doesn't need to be stored in the fridge 24/7, just needs to be cool right before use. So we've got our applicator now connected to our vacuum line. What I'm going to do before I go ahead and start the car is actually remove the foil seal from all these different bottles. because once it's time to actually start using them, the process does go pretty quickly. So we got all of our chemical ready to go. Again, for the actual process, before I start the car and it's a little bit louder, what we're going to do is we're going to start the vehicle with this already attached to our vacuum line. With the vehicle running, we're going to fill up our reservoir with our A chemical. We're going to remove our little cap. We're going to fill it up with our A chemical to the line. Then we're going to go into the vehicle, rev it up to between 3,000 and 4,000 RPM for about 25 or 30 seconds. That's as long as it takes for the chemical to enter the intake manifold. Then we're going to come back here. We're going to do the same thing with chemical B, up to the line, elevate the RPM for 25 to 30 seconds. Then we're going to repeat it with A and B once again. Then we're going to finish with C 2 times as well. So that's kind of what the overview, that's what the process looks like. Again, it's called chemical layering. That's what's going to create the most efficient way to remove this carbon from the valves. So let me go start the vehicle. So the engine is sitting here at idle. As you can see, we are indoors. So we do have a fume extractor connected to the tailpipe. Again, one more way that this differs from a lot of induction services is that there's actually really not any smoke coming out the tailpipe. One of the common misconceptions that I believed for a long time was that, the more smoke out the tailpipe, the better. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily the case. Oftentimes when you see a lot of smoke out the tailpipe, it's an indication that your induction cleaner actually hasn't burned and combusted in the combustion chamber, and that's actually liquid and vapor leaving the cylinder head, sometimes entering your cat. Last thing you want to do is damage a cat or leave a bunch of residue in our intake runners. So I'm going to go ahead and add our A chemical to our reservoir now, then jump back into the car and elevate the RPM. So I've added the A chemical to the dotted line. I am now going to open this valve and allow the induction cleaner to actually enter the intake manifold. You can see, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now we're going to run through the same process with our B chemical. The engine does run a little rough at any point. You can give it a little bit of a snap throttle just to clear some of that chemical out from the intake manifold and make sure that you're good to go. So I am now going to open this valve and go and do the same thing. Just as before, close the valve, go back to chemical A, up to the line, open our valve, close the valve, Chemical B for the last time. So now we've finished with our parts A and B. Even though you run through 2 different cycles, it only uses half the bottle. So one of these kits will actually perform 2 complete induction services. If it's been a typical maintenance interval, you only need to do 1 treatment. If it's severe and it's gone for an extended period of time without any additional maintenance being performed, then you can go ahead and do 2 treatments, but you will want to take it on a test drive to kind of help blow everything out the intake manifold in between the 2 treatments. So now let's jump over to our chemical C. All right, final step, we're gonna add our final chemical. Let's just see once again to the line. Go ahead and cap it off. We're now gonna open it, go rev it. And again, don't be afraid to give it a couple snap throttles throughout the process, especially when intake manifold is in the shape that this one is, where it has the big snail. There are times in which that liquid can puddle at the bottom of the manifold, so you'll want to make sure it gets blown out pretty efficiently. Last thing anybody wants to do is hydrolock an engine. Okay, we've ran through all of our different chemical treatments. We've turned the vehicle off after we revved it and held the RPMs up to make sure that everything was blown out and everything was all good. What we're gonna do now is simply put it back together and go take it on a test drive. All right, we're at a stoplight. We're gonna see what our 0 to 60 time looks like. All right, didn't change too much. All right, now that we got back from the test drive, we went ahead and threw a borescope down our intake manifold. We were able to snake it through the throttle body actually, around the complete manifold, all the way down to the valves. We're gonna show you some before and after pictures, but as you can see, the induction service did a really good job at removing the carbon, especially if you pay attention to the actual valve stem itself, where there was some pretty aggressive carbon buildup. Again, only 40,000 miles, but that has now been pretty much removed completely. There is still some slight carbon on the valve in the sense that it's not shiny and polished, but the actual carbon material, the chunks of it are no longer there. So it's done a really good job at removing that carbon. You know, again, this is 40,000 miles. If this service had been performed at a regular interval, whatever the manufacturer recommends, you know, 15 to 25,000 miles anywhere in there, kind of depends on your shop, but you could imagine how much cleaner these valves would be. Remember, if it's a carbon issue that's causing a drivability concern, you will want to do 2 treatments in this case. But at this point, I'm very happy with the results. I'm gonna slap everything back together. And thank you for watching this tech tip. If you're looking for more videos like this, go ahead and check us out at garagegurus.tech. I'm Josh Whiteman. Thanks for watching.